Hello and welcome to the ALIZEE YEEZY show, a show that I've tried and failed to do numerous times now. This is the first pilot episode. I am here, I'm your host, the big ALIZEE YEEZY, and I'm here with my friend, sometimes mentor, Rob. Hello.
Hello. We're back.
We're back and no one knew we were here in the first place.
Yeah. They said we shouldn't do it. All the people I met on the train and told about this.
They were right, yet here we are, persevering through a lot of shit. Anyway, yes, here we are. Rob is, well, he's a mate, I suppose. I've known him for about a decade, I guess.
That's very sweet of you, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
suppose.
You're like the brother I never wanted.
Oh.
No, you've done all right. But before we even introduce you, I don't want to do introductions. I just want to say, is it coming home? Is it coming home? Rob, what do you think?
Can I just say, I couldn't care less.
It's coming home. I don't give a shit.
It
I
upsets me.
Oh my God. Just England and Euros. Wait, is it Euros 2020? Why am I seeing Euros 2020?
Because
Did it get banned last year?
It was banned, yeah.
Yeah, because of the old...
No Europe for you.
Not because of that, just because like the things that are going on.
What things?
You know, all of last year, what happened? People couldn't go outside. They still did.
I don't go outside. What happened?
Imagine you'd been in a coma all this time. You were in...
That's what I feel like the whole time. I go out. Things have changed culturally. I dress the same like a cartoon character every day.
You're like a pirate.
Kinda.
For people watching this
pirate
on YouTube, you're a bit like a pirate.
Pirate with like no backbone, so I don't steal anything.
That's a shame.
Just, yeah. Oh, I'm like the worst of both. Like a privateer. You know, they're like the Queen's Navy who are just...
I'm not familiar with the Queen's Navy. Why would I be? The most I know about pirates is I watched Pirates of the Caribbean because of Johnny Depp.
So nothing about pirates then.
It was Johnny Depp pretending to... I don't know.
Yeah, they nearly stopped him from doing that as well. Like the best acting choice for a film franchise ever. You'd have just had a really boring Johnny Depp pirate.
Really?
And yeah. They told him to, like, rather offensively, play it straight. Just be a pirate. It was like... No.
He was cracking in that film. I really can I say that? Can I say that Johnny Depp was good in a film because of the stuff of Amber Heard? Let's not even get into that. I don't want this podcast to be cancelled after just the first 10 minutes. Let's talk about...
Second try.
I know.
What were we talking about? Football?
Let's talk about the fucking football.
Let's.
I'm sick of it. Last night, people just screaming. And I tell you, the other day, I was at Paddington train station, other train stations are available. I was at Paddington Station, eating wasabi. Other Western Japanese dishes are available. But I was eating wasabi, and I was with my partner. And not actual wasabi, it's like,
fake wasabi, I was going to say.
No, I wasn't just sitting there eating like buckets of wasabi. It's like I was having a rice, fake chicken katsu, vegan katsu dish.
But I heard the other day that most wasabi in Britain isn't real wasabi.
No, it's horseradish.
And that just breaks my heart. So I thought I liked wasabi, but it turns out I couldn't pick real wasabi out of a bush, wherever you grow it. It grows in water, doesn't it?
Does it grow in the ground?
In a stream.
My God, we're so fucking ignorant.
I don't know.
And
I love Japanese culture.
You're the best bet. You're like, out of all my mates who I thought, I'll do a podcast with, I went through a list and I thought, Rob, he's charismatic, he's smarter than me, which I don't say lightly, because I think that I am smarter than everyone.
I feel like we're smart in very different ways. No, I'm pretty sure wasabi grows in streams. It's like...
We're coming across so fucking ignorant right now. There's going to be so many comics like, well, actually...
I don't know. I don't cultivate it. It doesn't really grow in my country.
Oh yeah, we're none the wiser. It's okay to be ignorant in this instance. But anyway, so I was eating some
niche.
Vegan chicken katsu thing that they have at Wasabi. It was very nice, a good 8 out of 10. I would order it again. And there's directly opposite a Sainsbury's, and I was just looking at the Sainsbury's, and suddenly there are screams, not screams of happiness or just like blood curdling, like screams, and some man walks out of the Sainsbury's. He looks to his that way. What's that? Left, right. Looks to his right. Looks shocked and pegs it, like runs out the station full pelt. So I immediately, you're in a train station, you're in London, I immediately just think, okay, someone's just come in with a machete, it's standard Tuesday thing. So I get up and like grab my suitcase, because I had a suitcase. No, I didn't have a suitcase. That was a different day. I had a laptop bag, so I, picked that up. And everyone's looking shocked. This all happens within the space of like five seconds. Everyone's looking shocked and scared, like, oh, what should we do? Like, you know, because they're screaming and someone's just ran out of a fucking train station, a populated train station, because Paddington's well busy all the time. And then some man just goes, oh, don't worry, it's just the football. There was just a near miss. People like...
What do you mean it was just that the man ran off? What was he running to?
Well, he heard the screams and thought, fuck this, I'm out of here just in case.
Oh.
No, but that's ridiculous. They should ban football from train stations. That's how you cause a stampede. You know, like a few years ago, there was some sort of this is getting like just a bit too dark and edgy already. In Oxford Circus, there was like a terror scare a few Christmases ago, and Ollie Murs got stuck inside it. It was fine, right? I'm laughing because it was fine, right? Ollie Murs got stuck inside some sort of Debenhams, and he was tweeting, being like, "Oh my god, there's a terrorist attack happening."
Was it like that episode of Friends where Chandler gets stuck in the...
No, it's the opposite of Friends, where like a car backfires. And Ross is like, we almost died. Ollie Murs in like a Debenhams live tweeting, which is making the situation worse. And they had to evacuate all of Oxford Circus. And what had actually transpired, I believe, is someone pushed someone over at the train station, and they had like a little fisticuffs, and it got turned into, oh, there are people with guns. Oh, there's going to be a terrorist attack. Yada yada, like total pandemonium. So, because of those reasons, you shouldn't have football playing at train stations.
Or indeed anywhere in public.
Anywhere, just in the privacy of your home. Like, well, actually, no, not even that.
I don't mind what you watch in the privacy of your own home, but certainly don't do football out in public.
No, you're not safe.
Because I have to be there sometimes.
You're not even fucking safe at home. Last night, people screaming and cars going by, honking their horns, being like, England, England. Shut up.
When did they play against Ukraine? That was the other day. And I was on the...
I don't care.
Yeah, but I was on the tube. And they were just sweaty guys in capes, like England capes.
Capes?
Yeah, they tied it around their neck like a child with a...
The flag tied around...
Yeah.
The same people who will be like, you know, you got to respect the flag. Tie it around their neck and use it as a cape like a Noel Fielding character.
On their back sweat, wandering down the train carriage, yelling. And everyone just didn't quite know what to do. There was quite a lot of them. They got off and everyone kind of looked at one another. And I was just, calm it down, boys. You beat Ukraine. I could beat Ukraine.
You can't say that. My Ukrainian audience is going to get well annoyed at you saying that you're better than the entirety of Ukraine at football. Do you even know how to play football?
I haven't played football in a while. I could be really good.
How long's a while? Like 2
savant.
Decades?
Probably. Yeah. Well, no, I was forced to play it at school, wasn't I?
I don't know, were you? I didn't know you then.
Well, everyone was. Did you do PE? Or were you... What did you do when it came to PE? What did you... Just hide? Did you smoke behind the bins?
How do you know? No, I did. I did PE and barely participated, and then I skived off the.
Right. Well, you would have played football in inverted commas in the way that I played football at school, which was you didn't really.
I was all right at some. No, I wasn't. God, I don't remember. It's like repressed memories. Me and PE. I remember just like sitting out and pretending that. Don't know, that I was ill or whatever.
I asked my teacher if I could run laps for an hour. He said, no, you got to play football.
No, you
didn't make me like the sport more.
You can't do some physical education in this hour allotted specifically for that purpose. PE was
all I learned in that
of
lesson
time.
was that I hate this.
Yeah, it was rubbish. I like swimming now. Just so my audience knows, in case like anyone was wondering, what does the big ALIZEE YEEZY like doing ways of exercise? Swimming. I've got a stationary bike at home. No one needs to know this. Do you know what I've been trying and failing to do this week?
Any number of things, I'd imagine. Mixing
up my content a little bit because I've been feeling tiniest little bit burnt out. It's not making me feel fucking insane at all. I feel like I've been burnt out and miserable since...
2018?
Since when was I born? Been burnt out since birth, basically. No, I've been burnt out and miserable since Christmas, to be honest. But I was like, I'm just going to try and mix my content up a little bit and, you know, do something that I want to do. And that is billionaire routines. You know, because there's loads of stuff on the internet about, you know, this billionaire, Tim Cook, wakes up at 3:45 a.m.
What a psychopath. What does he do for the... What does he do for the next 7 hours when I would be sleeping? Does he just look at people and wait?
That's a good point. No one else is going to be up at that time.
That's horrifying. Or he's talking to the other side of the world. Mm-hmm. What are you doing, mate? I'm getting ready to go to bed. What are you doing? I'm up!
Or Elon Musk, he gets up at around 7 a.m. So I did Elon Musk's day. He gets up at 7 a.m. and then he's in the office by like 10 or so. And then, so apparently he does like 80 to 100 hours of work a week. And I told one of my mates this when I went with dinner for them the other day. And they were like, fuck off, no, he doesn't. He does not do 100 hours of work a week. They're just selling that. So it's like, well, he deserves however many billions he has because he
deserves the GDP of a small country.
He works 100 hours a week. No, he doesn't. Or it's probably like meetings, you know, like fluff. Because most meetings, have you had normal jobs? I've had normal jobs. Meetings, low nonsense. Even meetings for YouTube, not with YouTube, because Susan Wojcicki probably pretends I don't exist if she knows who I am. But when I've had like meetings with sponsors, I'm going to get myself like kicked off from any like, but meetings with sponsors, you know, just business meetings to see where you're at and talk about the progression of your channel and where you want to go. It's all nonsense and fluff. And it's like, you could have just looked at my social blade, mate. You didn't need to have this phone call. Sorry, I feel like I've said way too much already.
I haven't had any normal jobs where I'd have meetings, I don't think. I did MLM for a bit. And had meetings for that.
I was just thinking of like, well,
actually, you know what?
No,
you know what?
Shall we just say we were in the same MMM?
No, you know what? Screw that, because
no, don't defend. Don't do it. Whatever you're gonna say.
There's ways to do it, right? If it's if there's an actual meaningful product, it is just a way of selling. Okay, if you get a job, like a regular job, your chances of promotion are tiny. Most of the time, you just exchange your time for like very little pay, and then your boss is a dick, and that is your life. Like there are alternatives, but yeah, like by and large, most of them are horribling scams.
Are you still being paid by the MLM to say this stuff?
I'm not. But
they sent you in as a spy.
I still use like loads of the products to this day.
The one we were in, we're not going to say names or anything like that because I don't know, I just don't want to get sued or whatever, and I don't want irate MLMers.
The one I was in makes me smell fantastic.
Don't want Mumsnet after this podcast when it's like, you know, barely new. Let's start on Mumsnet like next month or something instead. Well, the products, I mean, yeah, they were all right.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of like health and beauty kind of stuff, right?
And it worked, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. Ravishing.
That's why this has to be on video as well as audio.
So everyone can see.
It would just be wasted
MLMs
otherwise.
really work, guys.
Yeah.
No,
where we go
do
this.
them.
No, so that was like one of the jobs. The other one, I worked at a supermarket at like 4 a.m.
I'm not scoffing the idea of working in a supermarket because I've worked in supermarkets. I'm scoffing the idea of you working in a supermarket. I can't imagine that. Pirate Rob.
I had to go to like the trainings. Oh, bearing in mind I had like silver hair, like shaved down the sides and like tied back at the time. So I was just wearing their uniform, and then I just like a neon light just walking around the store that early in the morning. And my job was to pick out everyone's online shopping. And I had to have an assessment at this store, and it was about 4:45 in the morning. And that's part of like what put me on the path to quitting, because I couldn't stop laughing that I was having an assessment and doing like a little, almost like a SATs test at that time in the morning for like how to pick out someone's shopping. I think one of my answers was like, how do you ensure that the customer has a good shopping experience or like a favorable experience? My answer was take them to the zoo. And my supervisor didn't look at that until I was like gone. I was fastest shopper once. There we go. I was proud of that. Fastest shopper. They came over with a little sheet for me to sign. And it said comments. And my comment was, feels great. Now I can die happy.
When was this period in your life? Because I don't recall you having that type of hair.
It was a very brief period. It was like, I would have been like 23 to, actually, I don't think I even lasted a few months.
Oh dear.
Like it was a really, really quick changeover job. I went for a nap midway through, and I just slept on a pile of toilet rolls. Like we used them as a pillow. Like 23, 24 maybe.
I used to sometimes take naps at my job. Yeah.
Which one? The techie one?
Well, actually, one time in this hospitality just bar job I had in Mayfair when I first moved to London, we would have to do like long shifts, like 12 hours or whatever, like kind of opening till close. Some bullshit that they try and, they don't pay you enough in hospitality for that, as far as I'm concerned. But we'd
Didn't
have
pay
like
me at all a lot of the time.
Yeah, we had like a 2-hour break on those longer shifts. So you just have like 2 hours, and I'd been out all night and been at a party, and someone thought it was a good idea to have Meow Meow MCAT. Remember that one, Mephedrone? You ever taken that? Wait, no, you've never. Sorry, I forget who I'm talking to. Of course you haven't. Sorry, I'm just the degenerate here. So
No, the only thing I've done is just repeatedly drink until I cry.
oh yeah, I've been there too.
When you just, but no, I mean like throwing up, and it's so fierce that you're actually like you can see your own vomit in the bowl and your tears going down alongside it.
Don't think our listeners needed such vivid imagery, but
Too
thank
bad,
you.
too bad.
Robert,
That's my home run swing.
wordsmith. Really painting a picture there of your own vomit.
I didn't even. That was tame. Don't get me started.
But yeah, this 2-hour shift, so I
do apologise.
I'd been up all night and it was a disaster. And then there was a small little cupboard in this kitchen, and I fell asleep in the cupboard for almost 2 hours. There was another time at the techie job when I'd started drinking again, because I had a brief almost 2-year period where I didn't drink, and then bad things happened, so I started drinking again. And yeah, I'd frequently go in like having no sleep, being up all fucking night on drugs or drinking. One time I fell asleep in like this office which was separate to the client part, and I was alone because I was in charge, so I was being left alone whilst the technicians were off doing whatever. And God, that's so irresponsible. Someone could have come in and like stolen some laptops. I feel really bad about it now. Oh, to be in your early 20s.
It's hard to care sometimes. I don't think I've ever been that irresponsible.
Oh, it wasn't
at a job.
even, it was I shouldn't be slagging like off. No, it wasn't even living wage, like London living wage, which most places, it's not a requirement because there's still minimum wage, but it's just a courtesy really, because the rent is so bloody expensive here. Why am I living in London? London, like...
We had this conversation the other day and you shut down any suggestion I had.
I do that. And you're probably the best at managing me.
Yes, because I put my phone down and do something else.
For a bit, let me like
15
cool
messages
off.
in.
Rob sees like all the bad parts of me when I'm rampaging about something or getting irate, because everything irritates
I
me.
join in sometimes. Bloody football yesterday.
Oh yeah, of course.
Is that how this began?
Yeah, football.
This is where we ended up, okay.
We've gone full circle. Do you reckon it's going to come home on Sunday? It's a Sunday. I shouldn't even know that. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it.
Who's playing? Oh, it's Italy.
I know nothing.
What changes? Don't they have to play again in like a couple of years?
Is it every 4 years? I don't
Every
know.
1 or 2 years for the Euros, I think. It's just like a rolling... David Mitchell has a sketch about this on the Mitchell and Webb look, where he's just yelling at you as like a guy doing an advert for Sky Sports. And he's just there going like, yeah, watch the football until the next one. And it's always on. It never ends. It's like a quantum realm. You can't get away from it. Like, which game is more important? Because as soon as it ends, there's another one on. Like, starting immediately, possibly at the same time. Just the next players come on. That's what I want to see. Multi-ball round. Not penalties, nothing. Just start introducing more and more footballs in the last, 10 minutes of the game and see what happens.
The only sport I've ever been interested in, to watch... Well, actually, no, I lie. I do like boxing because I like... Rocky.
Seeing people get hurt.
Well, that, and the Rocky films. I mean, who doesn't like all of the Rocky films and the Creed films? Those are...
No.
What? I like the first Creed. I haven't seen the second one.
I've seen the second one. I haven't seen the first one.
The first one is really good. It's touching. It's heartwarming. It's great. Watch it.
Okay, yeah, the second one isn't.
Actually, you always tell me to watch films, and I rather infamously, and there are several other YouTubers who will attest to this, privately. Whenever I'm recommended anything, I'll be like, "Yeah, no, I don't even pretend anymore that I'll check out what I'm being recommended." Because I'm
just going to
just
start coming over and taping your eyes open like...
I'm so arrogant with my time. Vangelina
What you're
Scott,
doing with your time is not better than what I do with my time.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a me, the big I am, the big ALIZEE YEEZY, the success. That's miserable, more miserable than ever.
Calling me at whatever time in the morning, telling me you just haven't got off Final Fantasy all night.
I don't wake up early in the morning, so that is slander. That is some lies.
Whichever
right
way
there.
round you do it.
Angelina Scoff, she keeps the Irish girl that I've done a few
Oh,
collaborations
Aliens.
with. Aliens, yes. She keeps recommending me films. She keeps being like, look, I know you probably won't watch it, but check this out. Check this horror film out.
Bless her heart, because you haven't watched a single thing, have you?
She's still trying. That's really sweet. We're at that stage of the friendship where, like she's still gonna. And I will get around to watching The Lighthouse, mainly because Robert Pattinson.
Mainly because of Willem Dafoe.
Wasn't he in Bill and Ted?
Oh.
Bogus Journey. Have you not seen Bill and Ted?
I saw about more than 2 decades ago now.
Don't fucking go on at me then for not watching things if you can't even recall Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey.
It's like 7. We're talking like 22 years ago.
They're
and I watched
timeless
it
classics.
Once, and I watched them at the time.
Do you know once one of my English teachers had
Willem
to go at me?
Willem Dafoe was the Green Goblin in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. Have you seen those?
I'm very sure that he was also in Bill and Ted. Excuse me, producer Kes Motion. Can you Google quickly Bill and Ted Bogus Journey Deaf and find out who played him? Because I'm pretty sure.
No, that was not the second Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Totally different guy. That's the bad guy from Die Hard.
No, it's not.
Who does naked taekwondo?
Or am I thinking of William Dafoe?
How much money have you got in your? Do you have
Probably
a purse?
nothing after renting out this studio.
Bogus Journey.
Bogus Journey, yeah.
It's
Deaf.
the guy from Die
Grim
Hard.
Reaper.
William Sadler.
Who the fuck is William Sadler?
The guy from Die Hard too. Don't
Who's
question.
William Dafoe?
It's not William Dafoe. It's Willem.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Common error, but not excusable.
I can't do anything right.
And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to help.
I was so confident as well.
I know I would have put any amount of money on that because
It's all right. I'm paying for fucking dinner afterwards after all this. Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, dinner's on. Can you not?
Jesus
This is a
Christ,
professional
Paul.
outfit.
As you can see, yes, we're very well kept and professional over here.
I washed to come here, and you're just.
I know, I'm
knocking
in
things over.
probably my most flattering. Well, we'll see. We'll see when I'm editing. This might never see the light of day, this video, because that's kind of what's happened to the first one, because I decided I was looking too fat and ugly that day for anyone to ever see it. So, hopefully, that's why I've brought professional in to check over, just to make sure that I look flattering. Oh, it's hard. It'll happen to you too, The more you do this, the more you'll get self-conscious.
I'm not gonna do any editing for this.
Yeah, I know,
I'm not
but
gonna
it's
watch them
difficult.
back. I might delve into the comments to find the most flattering ones about me, and then
Oh no, you
let that
can't
go to
read
my
comments.
head, and then become a more obnoxious asshole.
See, that's why I don't read comments, or I only read the top ones, because the top ones are usually funny. But I just find that, if you read a negative one, you might be able to brush it off, or it might stick with you in months to come.
I only form my self-esteem based off external validation, though, so
Well,
it's
you're
quite important
fucked
for me.
But I also think, at the same time, that if you're reading hundreds of comments being like, you're so funny, you're so great, da 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 da, you'd start to believe that. And I don't want to have a part. I've seen a few people be like, oh yes, one of the few unproblematic creators. It's like, what are you talking about? I openly talk about how I was addicted to cocaine and a fucking idiot, and I hung out with bad people.
I don't think it's problematic to have been addicted to cocaine.
It's a tiny
It'd
bit.
be-
It's bad for the rainforest. I didn't know that when I was doing it at the time. Would it have stopped me? Probably not. But
It would be
still.
more problematic if you were advocating for cocaine use. That would be worse.
Don't you see the irony in Kes Motion, our videographer behind the camera, being like, yes.
Are we gonna bleep his name out, put a bar across our mouths, or are we just gonna
No, because that is his name, Kes Motion.
first and second name, or is he like
Kes
Cher?
Motion. I'm doing this thing, right? Because I'm just...
Kesmishin.
I'm basically a massive bully to all my closest friends.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
I'm doing this thing, right, where I'm going to make everyone who meets Kes Motion just call him Kes Motion, because that is his videographer name. It's your director name, right? I'm going to make your mum start calling you Kes Motion, and then you'll realise finally what a daft name is, says the big ALIZEE YEEZY.
You planning on getting married, Captain K, at any point in your future?
Captain K for ketamine.
Maybe have a
Right, so we are going to...
Mr.
So we'll
and
get...
Mrs. Motion.
We'll get the... Yeah. We'll get whoever's presiding over that. Probably you at this point. Oh, wait, I'm an ordained minister.
How are you an ordained minister? Did you just apply it? What?
You can... Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's right for everyone. I can perform exorcisms, though. They do say don't. But I'm a bit of a maverick.
Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Just because... I mean, even the film The Exorcist said, don't do an exorcism. Because it's pretty much exploiting like the mentally ill or the gullible or just, people not playing with a full deck.
Or pissing off an angry, vengeful spirit.
Well, yeah, that. Like on the, whatever the odds are for that, 7% for every...
Sorry, I'm just thinking I've never even actually seen The Exorcist. I've seen which of the scary movies where they parody The Exorcist?
Maybe the second one.
Yeah, I've seen that where they're all singing like "Shake Your Ass," and then
I don't know.
throws
Is that
up
the one?
everywhere,
Is that the
there's
one with the
flies.
gammy hand?
That's not PC to say. I'm pretty sure his strong hand.
Strong hand. That's
what he says.
I'm not going to do the impression. You can if you want.
Absolutely not. My reputation's already on the line by having this podcast
All right.
where we've discussed absolutely nothing so far, just as God intended. But how are you an ordained minister?
Oh, you literally just send an email. And then you got to pay like 20 quid if you want a doctorate in divinity, like my brother has. So
A doctorate in divinity. What does that entail?
I think it just expands your, I don't want to say powers, but yeah, your powers, your priestly powers.
Could you become a professor? Like, what's that woman, Trelawney in Harry Potter? Hate that I know
Professor
that.
Trelawney.
Yeah.
Is
What
she
was
she the divination one who like does tea leaves and
Yes, that's the one. So is your brother like Professor Trelawney?
Predator Trelawney?
Professor Trelawney. I didn't say predator.
No. No, I don't. I honestly don't know what the doctorate of divinity does. But I can perform wedding ceremonies, and I think baptisms.
You think?
I've certainly pushed people in water.
But besides that, you're also a writer.
Yeah.
But you actually write. Not like me, the Big ALIZEE Yeezy, where I just pretend that I write or just say that I do when I actually don't.
Yeah, you're on the sort of the first step of being a writer, on the pyramid scheme of being a writer. You're very much on that first level of, yeah, I've got an idea for a novel. Never manifests though, does it?
I've written like quite a lot before. I used to when I was younger, when I was still living
I
at
thought you were
home.
about to brag about the sausage roll thing again like you did last time.
I'm not bragging about that. We don't need to fucking bring that up. There's not going to be a sequel to Piers Morgan 2 Sausage Roll Boogaloo.
There's not going to be. I'm pretty sure he's got a son. There is a sequel to Piers Morgan.
Shut up.
It's already happened. We can't prevent it.
Leave his son alone. I'm sure his son's all
He's-
right. He's got nothing to do with Piers Morgan.
He's got a bit to do with him.
Yeah, like 50%.
50% ish.
Tell us that you're a writer. You actually write things. Go on.
Yes.
Say something about that.
Yeah, I've got imposter syndrome as well.
Yes.
That's how that manifests. Basically, it doesn't matter how much you write in a day. You never feel good about it. I mean, you do at first, on like maybe the first draft. If you've never tried writing before, you get like Dunning-Krugers. So you just, I don't know, shit out words in however many thousands. And you think it's all gold. And you think, I won't have to really edit this much. Then it's a few years later and you're still working on the same story if you're me. Yes, it's an appalling process. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
And that's what, do you know what? That's actually what puts me off. The fact that you need to probably edit 5, 6, 7, 8, however many times after you've written. Because like I do a first edit of my YouTube videos. And then if they're short, if they're like 15 or like 10, 15 minutes, I will do a second one. If they're one of those like long YouTube videos where they're like 30 or 40 or an hour long, I rely on one edit and hope that I've not fucked anything up or left anything in that shouldn't be in there, because I can't bear repetition. Hate it.
Yeah, that's when you start looking at the same page, like endlessly. You can't even see what's on there anymore after a certain point. And that's why like you have to have a certain level of passion for what you're writing anyway. You can't just have like an offhand idea for a story, because you'll never get anywhere with it if you can't bear to look at it for like multiple drafts.
I can barely bear to look at myself. How am I going to do writing?
I never look at myself when I'm writing.
That's why I only do one edit of my YouTube videos, because I can't stand looking at myself. It's too much.
I don't like anyone looking at me when I'm writing. So I don't go to coffee shops to do it.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I do have friends who do it, and I can't. It makes me like them a bit less, honestly, when I find out they do it. Because I'm like,
why?
Because it's
You
so
smug.
wanky thing to do. Just tapping away in a whatever coffee shop you go to.
With a triple frapper, something.
Whatever, it's
something.
going cold next to you. Just.
You snob.
I don't care. Where's their manuscript? Piss off.
Speaking of snobbery, I saw a thing this week. So this is the segment of the podcast that I'm going to call "What the fuck is happening on YouTube, mate?" I don't know
You're not
why
gonna be able
I
to get
sound
through that
like
every week.
this. I don't know why I sound like this on camera, because in real life, I'm pretty sure I sound a lot more put together than "All right, mate. All right, geezer." Actually, no. Earlier, you were saying that I'm like a greengrocer.
Yeah.
Pound your banana, £2
What's
your
that
pound,
way?
it's coming out, way. I'm so sorry. Yes.
It's like a dramatic noise, like crowd chants.
Yay.
Just a kind of, yeah. That's what I hear. If you do like a edit on this, which you won't because we've just discussed that, just a slow pan in on my face, black and white, maybe some choppers from Vietnam, and then just football chants, slowed down a bit.
Yeah, you've vastly overestimate how much I give a shit about what we're doing right now. Like you wanted the when we move from segment to segment, because
I wanted a little like logo or something to spin, maybe a little noise. Too much to do.
Like the old Batman.
Yeah, yeah, a little
things.
like a slide whistle type.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. How dare you? Pay me. I'm sorry. I should pay myself more, and then maybe I'll do it.
Take it out of my dinner if you want. There you go. I won't have a starter now, but give me my little logo.
Here's the thing, right? On YouTube this week, right? Not James Charles's comeback video, 30 minutes long. I've not watched that. I can't be bothered just to see him blaver on about how, no, I didn't mean to send sex to a 16-year-old. It just accidentally happened. I got tricked for the 1 millionth time in a row. It's going to be 2050. The icebergs be melting. English football fans will still be chanting, "It's coming home." It's still not come home in over 100 years. And James Charles is
England doesn't exist anymore.
James Charles is still going to be like, look, they tricked me, those wily 16-year-olds. I'm not laughing at like the act. I'm laughing at him thinking that, and that excuse, I mean, it's going to work because his core fan base aren't going to give a shit because, well, they're probably 16-year-olds. Not talking about that. Gabby Hanna exposing videos have been all the rage this week, and I really sat and watched. And my attention span is it's not bad, but it needs engagement, right? Because I've said almost like apologetically, oh, my attention span is just bad. And I've figured out that is completely incorrect. My partner was playing and this has nothing to do, sorry, but my partner, I just need to
We'll get there.
validate myself here for a second. My partner was playing, don't know why I keep saying that, my partner, like he's a law firm. Imagine me doing law.
The big ALIZEE YEEZY and what?
No names. And my partner, Mr. Big ALIZEE YEEZY.
Mr. Yeezy.
He's going to hate me. He's going to hate me when he gets to this part.
Or are you a Lee and he's Yeezy?
Lee Z. Okay, Mr. Z. No. What was I saying? Something about me. Imagine me doing a court case.
You were talking about your attention span.
Oh, yeah, so shut up. He was playing the Walking Dead game, and I was trying to do some work, and then I was enraptured by what was going on the screen, because you have to make loads of moral choices, and like, you know, do you save the kid, or you do zombies everywhere? Oh, like, do you shoot someone because they've been bitten and infected? What are you going to do? And I found myself really engaged with it. So then I watched like the first episode of The Walking Dead, and I was like, hang on, this is good. So then I proceeded to watch like 5 seasons in a week, as well as the entirety of the comic book, which is 4,000 pages. And yes, it's comic book pages, but there's a hell of a lot of like quotes, speech, like dialogue. There's loads of dialogue. Usually, I swear there's not as much dialogue in manga.
How big are
Maybe.
we talking?
Huh?
How big are these speech bubbles?
Oh, massive. They take up like half the panel.
How big are the panels?
I don't know. I read it on my
Like,
fucking Kindle.
Half the size of a text.
4,000 pages still, like even like looking at a comic book in less than a week. My attention span is not the problem. The problem is most people are boring and most things are boring.
So the problem is everyone else.
Yes.
I didn't realise this was going to turn into a therapy session. But here we are. And how
So-
does that make you feel?
Do you know what?
Vindicated?
Yeah, knowing that just everyone else is boring and they just can't match they're just not exciting enough for me, not full of like explosions and loud noises. I should like football really, because it's just loads of loud. No, because football's boring. Cause
It is
just...
tedious.
Do that again.
I will not. You don't pay me, so I'm not doing anything you say.
That's it. That's your
you can
dessert
just
gone.
You can just loop it.
So anyway, yeah, some geezer.
There you go. There's you usually say that with a very Downton Abbey accent. Some geezer.
Some gentleman. What's his name? Mr. Prader? Is his name Daniel David? God knows. I'm not going to find out. He did a 1 hour long expose video on how much of an insufferable person Gabby Hanna was to work with on a YouTube Red series called Escape the Night. And I thought that was really interesting. He brought out this voice note of Gabby, and she has such like a persecution complex, right? She's the biggest victim. It was insane to listen to, and I think I've changed my opinion on her a bit. I think she genuinely doesn't actually know that she's doing bad things. I don't think she has that self-awareness, because like this voice note, she's going on for 3 minutes. I don't think he showed the whole 3 minutes, but she's really like going on about how, yes, and then for one scene I had to have like, you know, these ropes on my hand and they cut and left me bruised. And he was like, I was in that scene and we use stunt rope as you do on film productions and it doesn't cut, and just really delusional stuff. But it came like so quickly. It's like, does she actually believe what she must believe what she's saying? So then how do you deal with that when someone believes their own delusions? Moving on swiftly. What thing did we want to do next for this? I've already forgotten. But my attention span is not the problem. Everyone else is.
I wanted to talk about ideas for where we're going with it, though, at some point. We can do it now, we can do it later. But I want snacks, and I feel cheated out of them this week.
Fine. Yes, we will do snack reviews. Right. Yeah, I forgot to say that. So the reason for me wanting a podcast in the first place is in an incredibly oversaturated market. And I'm aware of that. I'm aware that everyone and their fucking mum and their dog has a podcast. But to be fair, I thought of doing it first like years ago. I just never followed through.
It's not an excuse, is it?
It absolutely is. Look, promise. Don't shake your head at me, Kesmotion. I promised that I wanted to do this first. It's just taken a long time to get here. But one of the reasons that I want a podcast is it's a ruse. I just want to be able to get celebrities that I like in the same room as me under the pretense of this is a professional. Yes, Ed Miliband, let's talk about your new book. Let's not talk about...
I mean, based off the back of this episode, they're going to be pouring in.
Ed Miliband, for sure. Of course he will.
Do you think Ed Miliband
He has
would
his own
advocate for
podcast.
violence?
He has his
Just
own
would he endorse
podcast.
it? Just
Should we ask him? Should we
Eddie.
get him down and be like, Ed, what do you think about hitting a hypothetical person because
Eddie,
they're
being a dick.
They're just being
No,
a
Eddie.
twat.
Eddie, they're being a dick.
Come on, Eduardo.
Come on.
Can't say that. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't endorse any of it. It's just jokes. We're British. We have to joke about everything because our fucking country is a joke. Our country goes mad
It
over
is.
a ball game.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Forget everything else going on. Just watch the football. It's
Oh,
like
yes,
it's like putting children in front of a TV, isn't it?
It's been a great distraction technique, hasn't it?
Just put them in front of the kids put the kids in front of the TV while we go and, I don't know, fight or drink in the back room, or like dangling keys in front of a cat. Is that too dismissive of the great British public who enjoy football to that extent? I've got family members who like football, but they're not yelling.
It's fine to like it. In fact, I did see some comments on
Is it fine to like it? Okay, we've got approval then.
It's fine to like a sport, of course. I mean, but backseat footballers, like, oh, well, the thing about Arsenal is they always try and walk it on, or whatever they'd said in the IT crowd that for that one scene. People that do that. Saying that, though, I am a massive, turns out, right, because I hate backseat anything. Backseat drivers, it's just, oh, I'd do it better. No, you fucking wouldn't. Turns out I'm totally a backseat survivalist, because how many times in your life have you fallen over? How many times this year have you fallen over flat on your face?
Never.
Thank you. But on The Walking Dead, anytime they see a zombie, which you'd think they'd be used to by now because it's been years of this, they just fall over all the time. Happens all, like, get a grip. Rubbish. You'd be eaten straight away. I'd survive. I'd be all right.
Fair enough.
My charms would get through to anyone in a zombie apocalypse.
Even the zombies.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, she's all right. Talks too much, that live one.
Can they move quickly in The Walking Dead, or are they like the shufflers? I've never seen it.
Shufflers.
Okay.
Which would make more sense biologically, because like fast zombies, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? No, not having it.
You're shitting on a series of amazing films there, and I think that's unfair. Resident Evil specifically.
I'm not seeing it.
Of course you haven't. Also, I wouldn't recommend it. They're not good. They're worse. They're okay, and they're back down in the pan, and then they just go. It's like a really shitty ski slope.
Right.
That never gets any kind of altitude. Like, they never get great.
Right.
It's passable at best. Like, if it's on a, like a Thursday, you're not doing anything and it's on, watch Resident Evil. But they're formed by a virus, and it's like a mutant thing. So they're they're not really zombies. They're just mutants.
Okay. Yeah,
and I don't know, their faces split apart, and I'm not dealing with that.
I think I've played the Resident Evil games, or like one of them, maybe.
Right, so
yeah,
the gist.
I think I played like one of the ones that was on PS2, and the main guy, I think his name's Leon.
That's
and
Resident Evil 4.
He has really, and he has really cool hair. He looks kind of a bit like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII.
Never played a Final Fantasy game.
Don't rag on at me for not doing stuff. Then Final Fantasy is great.
Have you watched the film?
The Spirits Within.
I don't know. I just knew there was a film. I don't know if there's more than one.
It's not really.
I was banking on there being just the one, and then I'd look like I knew what I was talking about.
I think there's more than one. But that's not what I want to talk about anyway. What do I want to say? Something about getting guests on this podcast, yeah. So obviously I've got my eye on like the big Russell Brand, who would never. Imagine like we managed to rope him into this. He would walk into the room, see it's me, and walk straight back out. He'd be like, "Oh, not this fucking nutter again."
He'd walk in, look at me, think I'm him, and freak out, and then I'd just match him for everything he does.
Like a Rusty Rockets mime.
Like a what?
That's what he calls himself sometimes, Rusty Rockets. I don't know why either. Oh yeah, and like this show is going to be called the Big ALIZEE YEEZY Show. No, not the Big. So I can't stop saying that. I don't know where that comes from. Is that like a British thing? Call yourself the Big.
It comes from hubris.
That too. All this hubris wrapped up in like self-consciousness. Not really. This show is called the ALIZEE YEEZY Show because it's just going to be a rip-off of the Russell Brand show. Because I really liked him and Matt Morgan's dynamic. Matt Morgan was more level-headed and Russell was just like,
writing partner.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured.
Who got him into a lot of trouble.
For what?
I think he wrote jokes about President Bush when he was in America, and he found out that it's in some states it's not great to make jokes about the president, and they learnt that on the night.
Yeah, but it was Bush. What a name, Bush. I think Bill Hicks has an entire routine about like the President Bush's dad, who was also a president, about Bush and like, you know, or was it George Carlin? One of them. It was either Bill Hicks or George Carlin, but the routine could still be used for like George Bush.
You like Bill Hicks? Bill Hicks.
Yeah, I love Bill Hicks.
Because I like Mark Maron.
I don't know who that is.
And he's got a routine ripping the piss out of Bill Hicks.
Shut up.
It's great.
My Bill Hicks could beat up your Bill Hicks wannabe.
Mark Maron was in Glow.
What's
which
that?
is on Netflix. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Right. Yeah,
I'm not going to explain that anymore. No, it's on Netflix. It's a really good show for 2 seasons.
Are you being sponsored by Netflix? Don't give them free publicity.
Just bleep it out.
Right, so where we want to go with this show is we will have guests on. We're going to have Rachel Oates on next week.
Are we, though? I feel like it's not going to be like a birthday where you invite people and Rachel Oates never shows up.
She wouldn't do that to me. She likes me too much. She respects me, unlike everyone else on YouTube. Yeah, we're going to get a variety of people on. I'm just going to try and bug Ed Miliband and Russell Brand and see what comes from it. Imagine if we got Robert Pattinson on.
I kind of feel like he might do it.
I think he would. I think he would, because he's off the wall enough to. Did you know that once he was filming something in Spain and he had this stalker who just like sat outside his flat in Spain, his filming flat. So he decided to take the stalker to dinner and spent the entire time complaining about his life. And then the stalker, she never bothered him again. That's the kind of guy Robert Pattinson is. He would definitely be down for doing this.
I do like, he has like troll cooking videos.
No, I think it's real. I think he's being serious. He's quite odd.
I don't think he's that
lucky.
weird. Like, no, I'm pretty sure some of his recipes are inedible.
He's lucky he's Robert Pattinson. He won't be able to get away with like that personality if he wasn't Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I guess.
But yes, he should totally come on the show.
Can we hassle Dan Radcliffe? Because I quite like him.
Yeah, okay. If you think you can get Harry Potter on this show, just send him an email.
Well, you think... I don't know. He seems all right. He can't be that busy, can he? What else is he doing?
I'm not being rude looking at my phone.
What are you doing then? You're just drifting off.
Yeah, I'm bored already.
On my segments. That's all right. You had a half hour.
I'm just bored already.
You had a half-hour rant. No, it's fine. I've got some messages through. So why don't you tell me what you're doing on your phone while
Excuse me, I have my phone on airplane mode, so I'm not getting any messages because I'm fucking respectful as shit, and I was listening to whatever you were saying about Daniel Radcliffe. But you should sign up to my Patreon and you will get a chance to ask questions directly to us, and I'm going to read off a few questions from my Patreon, the ALIZEE YEEZY Patreon. It's down in the description. You should sign up for it, because how else am I going to be able to pay for this studio every week?
You could get your question read out, and imagine how that would feel. Nice, I bet.
It would be a good moment, wouldn't it?
Oh.
That'd be sweet.
Oh.
Feel included.
If you're unlucky and it's a bad question, I'll answer it.
Okay, so I've got a load of questions here. Like some people, someone put like 16 questions down. Come on, that's not fair to anyone else, mate.
There are no rules in the comment section for this, or like however Patreon works.
I forgot, you are literally a boomer.
I just haven't signed up to anyone's Patreon, even yours, because I'm not giving you money. I'll just be getting my money back.
Who are some of your favourite YouTubers to watch now? I'm going through a phase right now of really liking a YouTuber called Critical, but his YouTube channel is called Penguins Zero, and he's been around for a while. And I don't watch every video he does, and that's because like in the space of a week he puts up 15 videos. But he has re-inspired me with my channel, because he literally puts up whatever the fuck he wants. He put up a video the other day of him burning chicken for his dinner. He put up a different video, and he was primarily a gaming channel, I believe. He put up a different video of him outside, like with his mates and girlfriend, playing golf for 40 minutes, just playing golf. And I was like, this guy literally does whatever he wants. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Charlie. Like, and also he put up this video the other day called like, the toughest guy, or like Walmart tough guys or whatever. I don't know if I sent it to you.
You did. And like a sucker, I watched it. The man in Walmart.
I was crying. I was fucking crying. Charlie is so funny. I'm actually like, I'm being really nice about another person for once. It's really good. This
I don't
guy,
like him.
I know that you don't, but like, don't say anything, because I want him on this podcast. So shut the fuck up.
I'm sick that week.
No, but this guy in Walmart being like, do you want to see my back kick? It's like, okay. And Charlie said it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Douchebag. So
that's not his joke.
Probably is. Shut up. Look, don't ruin the magic.
I'm gonna, yeah.
All right, who do you like to watch then?
Oh, mine are like the worst.
Oh, they suck.
Like, just
boo, boring. It's coming home.
Yeah, just political stuff, and then red letter media.
Boring. Don't mention any of those. Don't care. Don't give a shit.
Oh, wait, no. Queer Kiwi. I quite like her.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
I think she lives in London. We could get her on.
Oh, great. Let's have a person who I don't know on my podcast. It's called the Big ALIZEE YEEZY Show, not the Big Rob Show.
Yeah, it'd be that's awful, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry. I'm a jerk.
I didn't even notice you were insulting me. That's how used to it I am. It just rolls off, and I was thinking about something completely different. No. I can't remember that. Savannah, that's her name. From the Queer Kiwi. She's not coming now. You have time to watch her content.
Someone comes through and I just watch some. Hey, look, I watch a bit of Critical. Yeah.
For your job. Do it for your job.
It's
not a favour to me.
I feel like that is when I watch YouTube videos when it is like, there's comedic potential
think
here.
of it,
James
think of it
Charles
as
is
research.
saying sorry for the millionth time about something he's done, or Gabby Hanna's off on one. Yeah. Chris Broad, Abroad in Japan. I love that channel. It's bloody good. And
That's actually just a good channel. And I haven't seen it. But I can't even complain about it.
It's got really good production value. It has good lore, like Natsuki and Ryotaro, who is this Japanese guy with like a British accent, like he says in it and stuff, which, so I'm there for that. It's just really good production. It's good. And he's very sarcastic and British. He should come on the ALIZEE YEEZY channel.
Tell you who I've been watching.
Who?
In preparation for this, in fact.
Me.
No, I've watched your most recent couple, I think. Maybe. No, The Friendship Onion by Billy Boyd and Don Monaghan, the guys who played Merry and Pippin in The Lord of the Rings. I'm not plugging them, but...
You can if you want. They're right.
I do love them.
They seem really nice.
They're really nice. But it annoys me because I know more about The Lord of the Rings than they do, and they were in it.
All right, show off.
Not showing off. That's no way to show off. No one's getting impressed by this. Oh, he spent a lot of time indoors by himself, I assume. No, so they do like quizzes and stuff on their podcast. And it's infuriating to watch. It's like waiting for someone to get a question. Like you just go on. And oh God. Basic knowledge upsets me. But they're lovely guys. And I reckon we can get them on, even though they both live in LA.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Easy,
mate. Get them to pay for their own travel. Ooh. This question specifically. Favourite scene in any John Wick movie? Easy. In the first John Wick, in the... Why are you laughing?
I've only seen the one, and I'm scared of what will happen.
So in the first John Wick film, in the clubhouse scene where there's like that pool inside, and he's moving through and he's like dispatching the guards, and there's a song in the background, Think by Khalida, I believe you pronounce it that way, and he like stabs the guy, and then he's just like staring at him because I think he's waiting for the pupils to dilate, which means like someone's died or whatever, and just that with like the atmosphere and the colors and the music, that is a perfect scene. Sounds like I'm endorsing violence there, but look, right, in films, I don't know, there's something about violence
against a hypothetical person who's just doing their job.
Well,
sure.
That bloke was part of a group of people that killed his puppy. Fuck him. I don't give a shit.
How
Animal
connected
abusers.
was he?
Oh, come on.
Tangentially.
All a bunch of rotters.
Umbrella Corporation. He works for the bar.
He was just the
He's
cleaner.
a nightclub. He's an evil janitor.
No, but that scene is like literally perfect. There's also a good one in the third when they're getting ready, when they're shooting the guards, and there's some classical music on in the background. I think, is it Vivaldi? I'm not sure. But if you have classical music to violence, like gratuitous violence in a film, I'm going to get a semi over that. Something about violence and classical music really gets me.
That's unpleasant.
I shouldn't
That's
say
the
that,
most.
I'm sorry.
I think that's the most sexual thing I've ever heard you say. And the context was horrible.
Right. Both
Jesus
of you, shut
Christ.
up. Kesmotion, you're always saying horrible rank films. And as for you, you were talking about your vomit earlier. Be quiet.
That was...
I was just talking about popping a hypothetical semi because we all know that I have a massive swinging dick.
Where's the big in ALIZEE come from?
There are going to be people that run with that, like, ha, knew it. Yes,
Oh, please, if this makes it in, everyone in the comments, just don't let this ever go. Because this was your moment. This is your crowning moment for me, honestly. I've never heard you say anything as bad as that. That was awful.
So I'm always thinking,
Honestly, that made me feel uncomfortable in the workplace.
My head does have constant, like, sort of...
Read another question before I get upset.
Okay. Well, we've not got much time left anyway. One more question, and then we're going to have to wrap this up. Oh, someone, and this could be for you. Someone did ask, did you watch all 4 hours of the Snyder Cut? I don't watch 4 minutes of anything, so no.
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
Not great.
Okay.
Like, that movie could be 3 hours long if they just didn't use the slow-mo. Like, there's slow motion for everything. Like, Lois Lane puts a coffee cup down and it's given the same importance as, like, saving a life. It's like, I don't think Zack Snyder actually knows how to direct movies. Like, I think he just accidentally made a couple and that's how he got into it. Because he just, like, he doesn't seem to know what's important at any given time. And some of the framing's really weird. Not that I could do better, but maybe I couldn't do worse.
Maybe our resident Kes Motion could do better than Zack Snyder.
Kesmission, could you?
You're gonna end up a part of this podcast. It's gonna be like the H3 podcast, where like even the editors, like just not the editors, the assistants appear on now.
We're gonna get a fourth camera.
I'm
gonna keep it here.
Him on his phone the whole time, just occasionally chuckling.
Yeah, just make sure the camera's all right.
If he's anything to go by, people are not going to enjoy this podcast because he has not been paying attention.
I don't think I've shut up. I don't think I've watched like any sex. Like, what's he done? We've got 2 minutes left.
300 leather pants men.
Oh, he did 300.
I absolutely love people's response to 300 because it's like people's response to Fight Club. Like people just take it way too seriously. Like if you
Army of the Dead.
was that the one on Netflix the other day? I saw
Army
that,
of the Dead. Don't know what
which
that
is
either.
apparently just a remake of Aliens.
It's decent.
It's like but because it's a remake of Aliens.
For
Like-
people that can't hear, videographer all-star Kes Motion just went, it's decent. So
You weren't actually doing his voice there. That's just how you sound.
That is my normal voice.
What?
Hey, it's Cameron.
Stop saying that.
The ball went in the back of the net. Whoa.
He's only paid millions to do it.
Gonna drink loads of Kronenberg after this. Or Carlin. Dark
Carlin
fruits,
never-
Carlin.
What's the opposite of doing an advert for something? Just a PSA against it. Don't ever drink Carling.
Don't
You're better.
drink.
You're better than. I don't know who you are, but you're better than that.
So, Zack Snyder, good or bad?
Was a person
I don't know.
abysmal. He's all right. No, he seems like a nice enough dude, but like his film choices are weird. And anyone who took 300 seriously without like realizing it's super homoerotic, like it's like the Greeks, all those guys. Whenever anyone starts a podcast now, or like a YouTube channel, and they give it like a serious classical name. Mm-hmm. There's a few I can think of, but I'm not going to name them because they're all douchebags. But they all name themselves after like ancient Greek things, just because that gives them gravitas. And then they've got like really old conservative values, and anything Greek is super gay. But they just kind of try and skirt around that as much as possible.
What, like men should be men.
Men should be men.
Men should be
but,
men.
Not have male lovers like every like Greek soldier did. It's like they never read. Like I don't think they read any of the texts that they endorsed.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't know what they're talking about.
We're not talking about anyone specifically here, except the ones that I am, and they'll know it.
And on that bombshell, that is the end of the first episode. Well,
Not
we'll
bad.
fucking see.
We can't have 2 ghost episodes, can we?
Oh god, the episode that
What if we
just
knit
shall
it together
never be seen.
like a Frankenstein's monster? We'll just use bits from
I look
2
like a
different
monster in
studios. Just splice them in. You can just react to something I didn't even say, like a misleading trailer.
I can make reality whatever I want.
Did we answer all the questions?
No, there was loads of them, but we answered a few, and that is all.
Did we answer the ones that we started answering?
We've literally got 1 minute to get out of here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like more. Check us out on Spotify and iTunes if I can be bothered to do that. And we'll see you next time.
I'm not allowed to say bye last because it's not my show.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.